3 months ago, I got laid off from my software engineering job. 2 weeks ago, I turned down a 140K job offer. Here is why. Hi there, my name is Maria. I'm a software engineer, and on this channel, I talk about tech industry, reinvention, and what it's really like to navigate tech in this crazy AI era. In this video, I'm going to talk about what happened, about the money, about the industry shifts. We'll also talk about loyalty. Do we need to stay loyal to our tech jobs in 2025? When I got laid off 3 months ago, unexpectedly, without a new job offer, I was terrified. I kept thinking, the bills, I have people who depend on me. What am I supposed to do? But underneath the panic, there was something else. I was so burnt out. I felt like a hamster on a wheel, constantly running, but not actually going anywhere. And the worst part was, I didn't even know where I was running anymore. So I made a decision. I'm taking a 3, maybe 6 months off, a real sabbatical, a real break to test, reset, and hopefully reinvent myself so I could come back to tech with clarity, stronger than ever. What I did not expect is that only 2.5 months later, I would get a pretty good job offer and I would actually turn it down. Honestly, those first few weeks after the layoff were rough. I felt heavy, tired, and anxious, like my whole system needed a reboot. And I didn't know how long it's going to take. So I literally slowed down to the point where I would just sit and watch the grass grow. I'm not kidding. Morning yoga, supplements, cooking with all my meals, spending time with my daughter, and honestly, trying to remember what it feels like to be a person, not a worker. And then something shifted. About 1 month in, I started feeling awake again. Ideas started pouring in, so many that I had to write them all down and work on several ones at once. I started this channel, Maria Talks Tech. I began building little projects. I started talking to people and collaborating. I started feeling curious again. Fear got replaced with curiosity. Let's talk about money. But before I get into the money part, I want to show you this nifty little chart I found. It shows the hiring trends in software engineering. This is big tech hiring over the last few years. Let's see, senior hiring is up almost 40%. Junior and mid-level cut in half. So the entire hiring landscape shifted. However, what about senior engineers? Really, it looks like it's up, but is it really? I'm a senior engineer and I got laid off, replaced by AI or outsourced. So it looks like senior engineers are thriving, but that's not the case because we're also being laid off. So the employment pool is shrinking from both ends, it looks like. Does it mean I hate all corporate tech now? No, not at all. Recently, I saw a comment that said, after 5 years in big tech, getting laid off shook my sense of loyalty. I always believed that long hours, strong results, and being a team player meant stability, but it didn't. Now I'm rethinking how much trust to put in any employer. And the truth is, loyalty in tech isn't emotional. It's just temporary alignment of incentives and goals, right? Which means you have to stay loyal to yourself, not to your boss, not to your product, not to your company, but to your health, your creativity, and the life you're building. If your professional and financial goals align with the company's goals and your colleagues respect and appreciate you, go for it. Get a job, it has good benefits and a stable paycheck. But no, this is not your only option. That's all I'm trying to say. People, especially in the US, very often mix up their loyalties. In my opinion, loyalty should be with your family, your close friends, your community, not with your job. Again, not saying you should be dishonest or shady with your coworkers. You can absolutely make real friends at work, but it takes effort and time to develop real friendships by spending time outside of work, not just spending, time at the office chatting by the cooler, but That's a topic for another video. Okay, let's talk about money because I know this is the scariest and most interesting part for most people, including me probably. I got 1 month of severance after my layoff, but by adjusting my spending, which I already started doing last year, I stretched it to almost 3 months. And that wasn't an accident. I had been making choices for a while. For example, buying a small old house instead of taking on an expensive 30-year mortgage. I was cooking at home. I wasn't buying any fancy stuff that doesn't actually matter. Not because I don't have ambitions. I love nice, big, fancy houses with ocean view. I love eating out and traveling. I love fashion and designer clothes. But right now, I want freedom more than I want to keep up with Jonas's. Once I create freedom, I can start scaling. On top of that, here are some numbers. My little project started bringing in a little income. So about $1,000 from my investments. Gold ETF did great lately. About $500 from my natural wellness project, and about $500 from a web development client. So technically, I haven't touched my savings yet. Although next week I do have to pay property taxes because Florida is wild, and that will require me to deep into savings. But overall, I've been okay. And look, I know this sounds like, oh, just take a sabbatical. But I also know that most people in the US, especially, and I think it is 70% of us, if not 80, cannot afford to do that. We are paycheck to paycheck always. And yes, I got somewhat lucky with severance, but I already cut my expenses way down and I don't have a high mortgage. So I am not saying everybody should just quit their job. If you have responsibilities, please be a responsible adult first. But what I'm saying is, if you can create space to reset even a little bit, do it. And if you can today, start strategizing and start taking small steps to your goal. Because staying on a hamster wheel, 3 months later, I don't need a sabbatical anymore, but I want this space. I feel energized, I feel creative, and honestly, more myself than I felt in years. I want to work on my own project. I want to collaborate. I want to build things. Right now, for example, I'm working on a detox wellness app for women over 35, which I'm very passionate about. And I'm also growing this channel, building a voice in tech that's honest about what's actually happening out there. I don't know if any of these projects will be my thing long term, but for the first time in years, I'm building something that's my own and it feels great. And I want a life where my schedule reflects what I value, not what my employer values. So that job offer I mentioned, senior found dev, 140K, solid company, I turned it down because it felt like stepping back into the hamster wheel, acting out of fear, working on someone else's dream, knowing they could lay me off whenever it made sense for their business. I don't want to make this trade, at least right now. There are other options, as I discovered. If you're in the middle of a layoff or you feel the one is coming, don't underestimate what a reset can do for you. When you stop running on survival mode, the world starts opening up. Opportunities appear that you couldn't even see before. Or maybe you can't afford it right now. You're stuck and you're drowning in bills and debt. But you can start strategizing and taking small steps to your new goal, a goal of a more sustainable and aligned life. And here's the thing. Rest isn't a luxury. It's how you get your brain back. You might be closer to reinvention than you think. All right, guys, if you're in tech and you're feeling burnt out, or you are thinking about what's next after layoff, subscribe. I'm documenting this whole journey, the reinvention, the side projects, the messy middle, or maybe you want tech insights from someone who's been in the tech for over a decade. That's me. And if you want me to cover anything specific, just leave a comment. For now, while my channel is small, I read all of them and I pretty much reply to all of them. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.